Hey everybody, welcome to Fantastic Comics Presents. My name is Yule, and we're gonna show some clips and get this show started in just a few moments.
Aaron Sparrow here. You may know me as the writer of Darkwing Duck or Death Rage or the upcoming Kneel Before Doomface. And I just want to go ahead and tell you right now that Fantastic Comics is the greatest comic shop to ever exist in the history of this universe or any other universe.
Tie a yellow ribbon round the old oak tree. It's been 3 long years. Do ya still want me? If I don't see a ribbon round the old oak tree, I'll stay on the bus, forget about us, put the blame on me.
Did you know that every 7 minutes a black person is born in this country without soul? Hello, I'm B.B. King. Won't you help Don Simmons and the thousands of others that suffer from this tragic disorder? Its cruel symptoms can strike anyone. Let's take a look.
I think the Republican Party has done one heck of a job. Don't you, June?
I'll say, Ward, we Republicans have turned this country around.
Safety and good mileage are the two things I looked for in a new car. That's why I bought a Volvo station wagon.
Hi, I'm president of the David Hartman fan club here in Glendale. I've even met David Hartman once. What a neat guy.
Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim cherry. A sweep is as lucky can be. Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim cheroo. Good luck will rub off when I shake hands with you.
This is B.B. King saying, won't you please give, so that Don Simmons here and so many others can become useful members of society.
Or below me a kiss, and that's lucky too.
Right to blacks without soul. Post Office Box 1305A, Atlanta, Georgia. Thank you.
Look, this is just an informal chat. We were wondering what you were working on in your lab.
Well, I've invented a pill that gives worms to ex-girlfriends.
Right, and what's positive about that?
Well, it's a pill that gives worms to ex-girlfriends.
Well, could it also give worms to ex-boyfriends?
This is a drug for the world to give worms to ex-girlfriends.
Well, great. Thanks for stopping by.
You just don't get it here. Woo!
Eat.
Let's be very clear. Conversations around a 51st state are a non-starter. It's never going to happen.
You have been most worthy prey, Mr. Sampson. But now I must adieu.
Wait, dude! What about Batman? You call yourself a Batman fan? He would never kill anybody. Seriously, ask yourself, what would Batman do?
I have a confession, Hank. I only like the Batman because he has the best villains.
I'm a member of the Imperial Senate on a diplomatic mission to Alderaan.
You are part of the Rebel Alliance and a traitor. Take her away!
Yo, check this out. Black guys drive a car like this. Ding ding. Yeah, but white guys, see, they drive a car like this.
It's true. It's true. We're so lame.
I think I'd better straighten myself out.
Need any help?
Oh, all I can get.
In our national anthem, we've got bombs bursting in the air, for God's sakes. We drive around with our shotguns on the outside of the pickups so the neighbors will see them. The first sound of democracy came from a gun like this one. And that's why the ban on assault weapons has been allowed to lapse. It's all about our basic civil rights. It's about democracy. It's about freedom. Denny Cray.
Okay, Pit Pat is a magical pixie who can fly around.
Hey, you can't have all that swearing. It's offensive.
Look, lady, I don't come down to where you work and slap the dick out of your mouth.
That's
You're right, that's it. That's the new slogan for Grandma Betsy's biscuit powder.
The world of the future is much cruder than the world of today.
In 1994, you couldn't say the word bitch or asshole on TV. Now it's okay.
Where do you think we'll be in the year 2000?
Are you interested in staying on the cutting edge?
Yeah, but what happened to Grandma Betsy? She looks like a man.
She is a man.
The fastest growing segment of our population are transsexuals. They buy and spend for two.
So tell me again about the 79 countries.
It's like this. Cartoon Network's the same in those countries as it is here, except for little differences.
Example.
Okay. Know what they call pound puppies in Paris?
They don't call them pound puppies.
Nah, they don't have pounds in France. They have the metric system.
Then what do they call them?
They call them Les Puppies Royale.
No way.
Yeah.
Well, what do they call Smurfs in Spain?
Like a Smurf is a Smurf. They just call them Los Smurfs.
Los Smurfs?
Yeah, and in Morocco mole is just called mole.
No, that's the whole point. It's the same exact thing, but it's with women, right? So it's a new idea.
Okay, I just feel that if it's all with women, then it should be better.
Why can't we just do the same thing?
Because if we do the same thing, then why are we doing it at all?
Yeah, I gotta say, I agree with that. I mean, why can't we just come up with our own record to break? Like some badass woman who could really throw them back, you know? Judy Garland, Liz Taylor.
Joan Crawford.
Betty Ford. No, those are all sad examples of alcohol abuse. The box thing just feels more fun, you know? When women do it, it just feels sad.
All right, come out or I'll blast you out.
For shame, Doc. Hunting rabbits with an elephant gun.
Elephant gun?
That's right, Doc. So why don't you go shoot yourself an elephant? You do, and I'll give you such a pinch!
We're going to start our volleys. We hope you like the show. For everything is ready. We're raring to go. We'll give you all the latest songs and dances full of pep. We're gonna start with high chops. Just watch this chorus steps.
Originally settled as Ocean View during the 1850s, the city's population boomed with displaced
But in my own way, I am king. Hail to the king, baby.
Thank you very much. Welcome to Fantastic Comics Presents. You could have just said nothing. I guess that could be like the title of every show when referring to this show, right? Going into work. You know, I talk a lot. I have to talk a lot. Owning a comic book store. There's a lot of people that come in, and I'm talking to them about a wide variety of things. Usually comic books, but there can be extracurricular activities. I love baseball. Love my Dodgers. World champs, everybody. Did you know that Shohei Ohtani is the new skin in Fortnite? There is a baseball player one and a samurai one. Go figure. But the baseball one has the colors, baby. You know what I mean? And he cost $700 million that they're paying $2 million a year for the first 10 years. Can you believe that? And already, supposedly, they made like $180 million off his likeness and name and whatever last year. So this contract, it's going to be paid for long before it's over. Amazing. Yeah, stuff like that. Did you see what this person did? Did you hear about this? And then we talk about comic books also. Very rarely does the conversation actually get into the personalities of the comic book creators. Although, in certain situations, like with Neil Gaiman, that was definitely a situation where other people had conversation about it, rather than just us muckraking over here on the show. I'm going to turn off the camera just for a second. Just want to make sure. I'm going to pick my nose while I do this. I want to make sure I'm using the right audio. Excellent. Well, we made it to another Tuesday. And we're going to be talking about Rob Liefeld. What did he say? What did he say that could get Yule so upset? We're going to take a look at New Comic Book Day. We're going to take a look at the best of last week. We've got a sale coming up on my birthday, Sunday, March 23rd. There's going to be sale on back issues, and I'm going to show you some of them in this box. In this boxes. So, it'll just be a lot of geek talk and Slam and Rob, I think. I don't normally go on too many diatribes on this show and get really into it. I can rant a little bit or go off topic and just kind of, freeball it. But usually I try and make nice here on the show. Whatever. What are you going to do? Not really with like the Neil Gaiman stuff, but we weren't really talking hellish shit on him. We were just talking about the facts and, what that might mean for the store, what that means for his shows, what that means for his career, for the people selling his stuff or not selling their stuff. So, stuff like that. But Rob, he really did it this week. And I did not read the article, and I still really haven't read the article. We're going to, for the first time ever, I'm going to read an article out loud to you and probably break into it for a little bit. Because I just have a feeling I'm going to be very upset. And I didn't want to get upset earlier in the day and not be able to bring it to you now. So that's what it is. Like I said, last week's books, we got the sale going on. And, well, it's probably best if we just lead right into the first topic of the night. You see, we're a comic book store, Fantastic Comics, not just a YouTube channel. And for those of you that are new here and just don't know or just want to see it.
My name is Yule Carter, comic book retailer in Berkeley, California.
That's right. in Berkeley, California, Wednesday through Sunday, 12 to 5 p.m. March 23rd, big sale. And we talk about all sorts of stuff in the store, and wrestling is one of those things. Not as much AEW talk as there had been, and, you know, rightfully so. They did have a pay-per-view, though, and in the main event, the Cope was against John Moxley, and Christian had a not money in the bank contract, and he turned it in right there, and Christian was pinned by John Moxley. And that's how that ended. So I heard Mercedes Moné and her competitor got injured. I couldn't read a long paragraph to find out in what way, but that was some stuff that happened. The WWE is chugging along. They have Friday night SmackDown. They have Monday night Raw. They have Tuesday night NXT. They have Wednesday on Tubi. They have the new Evolve show. They got some AEW crap or A&E crap. And yeah, so there's a lot of wrestling. And, you know, I'm going to distill it down into just this one little bit. On SmackDown, let me get the picture up. Bianca Belair faced off against Naomi. Naomi was attacked at Hell in the Cell. Is that what it's called? No, it's called I don't remember. Elimination Chamber. That's what it is. She was in the Elimination Chamber, and Jade Cargill, returning from injury, came out, and instead of beating up the heel, put a whooping on Naomi, and she was escorted out of the match before it even really began. Bianca, this happened right in front of her, and she was like freaking out. Doesn't know what's going on. Well, I guess supposedly Jade had a problem with Naomi and was blaming her for her injury backstage months ago. He has cover for what really happened. And Bianca's like, hey, look, you know, just tell me, did you do it? And Naomi had all these long diatribes that she wanted to like obfuscate what was really going on. And Bianca would come back and say, just tell me, just tell me. And Bianca had this Naomi had this really cool moment where she just stopped, didn't say a thing, closed her eyes, opened them, and she had a tear coming down. You can kind of see one right there. You can a blurry shot, but she definitely has it going on there. And what did she say to Bianca?
I did it.
Damn, she did it. And then Jade came out and kicked her ass again. Kind of weird that she would have kicked her ass 2 times in a row. I would have rather have seen Naomi get away. But maybe what's going to happen is we're going to find out that Bianca is going to kind of like go along with Naomi ultimately. Maybe. Plus, there's like her title match at WrestleMania that's going to be a thing. I don't know where they're going with it, but I really enjoyed the segment. It was captivating, and it's on YouTube for free. You can just go and check it out. No wrestling, other than the beatdown, but it was worth it. Even though I just showed you the best part, and that's your wrestling man. All right. Excuse me while I take a sip of this. We can pretend it's apple juice. What do you say? Man, oh man. I'm really happy to be doing this episode tonight. I can't wait to see how this comes out. Maybe I'll clip it and send it to Rob. What do you think? Now, I'll let you do that. You hear what this motherfucker's saying about you, Bobby? That's right. That's what I'm doing. All right. Let's say hi to each and every one of you. I got the non-flagged one. Let's see.
Hello. 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 Oh. Go. Look out. Hello.
Hello. It's the music on the other ones where I get screwed more often than not. Blazing Saddles, it's a crapshoot. Thought 15 seconds was good, you know? Oh, wait, I'm sorry, I didn't read that. Yo, Frantinium's here early. You can only take a long walk, because I named this title, Take a Long Walk, or short, long walk up for short pier. If you have proper feet. Last time I checked, they were hiding behind rocks and other things. I kid. Rob Liefeld draws really bad feet. Lots of people draw really bad feet. It's easy to draw a sun. It's easy to paint a hay bale. Not near Mint was here. Let me be clear. I love this banner graphic. Thank you very much. I took a long time to do that one. I go in my video editing software. It's very rudimentary. And I put a text on the screen on a still image, and I just capture it on my computer. Let me cough. Excuse me. All right. I hate listening to shows and someone's just like, like I just did. Jogron 2. Hello all. Hello to you. I saw you on Facebook, by the way. How's it going? And I also, because I rarely get on there, but I wanted to find out some. So the only reason why I have it is there's information that's like retailer based, and I wanted to see what everybody was saying about Rob. No, it wasn't. It was ordering related, and when I got on, I saw my old, like when I'm breaking into comics with my buddy right here in that book, Peacemakers. Eric Cannon, he's on Facebook, and and he's followed me. I'm like, all right, awesome. So I followed him. I tell you, I'm not on Facebook that much, so we exchanged phone numbers. And he worked in comics. I tried to break in. He broke in, and actually he inked Chris Bachalo. Tell me anybody better than that. You know what I mean? Shelby Pell's in the other room. Hello. Liefeld Laura says, hey, all, and man, I saw all that stuff with Liefeld, and I heard he had an unfulfilled Kickstarter and looked into it. Man, that's pretty disappointing. Rob Liefeld. I don't want to get too into it just yet. Maybe in a few minutes. Rob Liefeld had a Kickstarter for a Brigade comic, if I'm not mistaken. And he didn't fulfill it for like 5 years. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was 3. Don't get hung up on the years, but it was plural, okay? And there were plenty of people that were very upset. But Rob has his like really strong, steadfast fans. And, they can come out in force and they can support a project. And, I don't think they really care about comics. How could they? They like a Rob Liefeld book, you know what I mean? Oh my God, here we go. Aaron Sparrow cameo. That's right. Freaking Rob, Psycho Editor says, and his stupid art style. Not Nearman says, gonna be a good show if Yule spirals talking about Rob and his history of not paying his employees to plain whining. Or churches even. He from what I understand, he owed some money to his church. And I don't think it happened. A Yuletide rant is what we could all use. Yeah, definitely. And Dwayne Muth is, hello, Yule. Rob has nothing to bellyache about. Tell me about it. I mean, he's upset with Marvel because he didn't get invited to a premiere to one of the movies. It seems bad. I mean, I agree. Rob's probably a pretty fun guy, but for whatever reason, they didn't invite him. And I don't think he got a proper credit, maybe his name above somebody else's. They were screwing up all in that movie, giving Roy Thomas a credit to Wolverine, from what I understand, and other things like that. So maybe he could say, I'm very upset about all of this that they're saying about me. But what's even worse is that they're actually giving credit to this motherfucker. Nothing wrong with Roy Thomas. I love a good Roy Thomas comic. Yule is always the king, baby. You know it. I hope Chad is doing good too. Okay, good. I like that. You guys are being nice to each other. One last one of you for a bit. Sinestro Core War Absolute comes out tomorrow, not me. But got delayed on Amazon until next month. Which is, of course, yay for the LCS, but I buy from Amazon for my silly big editions. I understand that. Damn, it's just all you. Jogron, I guess I have to go back to you. Sully didn't leave first message. Someone needs to check to make sure he's feeling his gratitude. He still does his videos, Eric O'Sullivan. I'll show you the videos later that I like, or channels that I like on YouTube, or other things. And we commented in the chat from last week's book or episode. Elithalor says, yeah, I'm not sure what Rob is on about his whole stores don't sell my books bit, because his time slide variant was ordered because it was a garbage book. There's more to it than that. I'm going to get back into that one also. Road Comics says, wait, what did I miss? Rob's been attacking stores? Yeah, he totally, I mean, if I read it right, the headline would suggest so. So I was on my phone, and one of the most hated things I do on my phone now that I'm not on social media almost altogether is if I just swipe the other direction that I usually don't, you get all the Google ads. And oh, look, there's AEW. I don't care about AEW. Oh, look, there's a Guitar Center thing. All right, that's interesting. Oh, look, there's stuff from Fortnite. Just the shit that I care about in life, I guess. And one of the articles was Rob saying shitty things about us store owners. So there you go. Liefeld had a lot of failure during his professional career. Hello, Fighting American. Hello, Rejects. Yeah, for sure. Hello, not Alan Moore Supreme. Well, Rob really wasn't involved with Supreme too much anyway. And if we go back and look at those Supremes, if we take a look at it, and it's a garbage book, you're right. Failure has followed Rob a lot, despite how I do like him. I understand, and I feel like it's now become, it's more hate now. It was a love-hate relationship with Rob. His stuff wasn't as good as like Jim Lee, but he wasn't so far removed from like a McFarlane that I couldn't suggest that he maybe is a little bit better than. And then you have Silvestri, and of course I'm naming the Image people. Valentino, he falls pretty far down. And then some people like Eric Larson, but maybe not more than the top three guys. Anyhow, let's see. Spider Guy, Rob Mad. Nobody ordered his there you go. His 1 in 50 variant. That's right. Well, he doesn't say that it's a 1 in 50 book. So he's crafting the narrative that he wants to craft. And again, we're going to get into that in a second. Rob did thank his fans for putting his 3 kids through college. Well, his wife acting might have made some money too. I am not He got upset in a thread on his Facebook group when I said that sometimes stores have stacks of book due to incentive variant orders. Like, I wasn't attacking him, but he took it personally. Yeah, I don't understand somebody that knows the industry in and out and knows that his fucking book. All right, hold on. Let me get through this. Yule is a Fortniter. He is not. So wonder he has to be closed on Monday and Tuesday to catch up on his missed weekend playtime. How dare you? Like, I wouldn't be playing now if I was. I guess he's right. He's more reliable than stores. I mean, we rely on him to assault the notion of proper anatomy and art, and he always delivers. Well, unless it's a Kickstarter, Road Comics. And lastly, Dwayne Muth. How many reboots of Youngblood are there? All right, let's think. Okay. We're just talking Youngblood. So the first one went like 13 issues, I think. Maybe a little bit longer. And then there was the next one. And then I know there was a Joe Casey one. And then there was like a Tim Seeley one, maybe. So that's 4. Maybe 5. Maybe we'll say in the article. Or maybe one of you can tell. The Tula Lotte Supreme was good. Correct, but Warren Ellis wrote that, I do believe. It's all about narratives in the world these days. Anyone could create their own. Yeah, for sure. And the thing is that those early days of Image, or just pre-Image with Marvel and stuff like that, there was a kayfabe in comics that we don't have now. And not unlike wrestling. So here we go. Here's our connection, right? Wrestling, it used to be, if I didn't like you in the sport, in the story, then we cannot be seen together ever, like in a carpool together or in a restaurant. And if then, I guess they'd have to be on separate sides and maybe even like shoot a bit, do a work. Yeah, so Rob's he's creating his narrative. Back then we didn't know as much. I mean, there was the Wizards and comics journals, and they might or might not have been focusing on that. And then a lot of it might be way after it happened. So it's a lot like the Old Testament as opposed to, the internet day. And the thing is, it's like there's so much a barrage of information in anything. I mean, I'm sure if you're into action figures, it's all day long. Someone bitching about something, someone releasing somebody unboxing something that they got, somebody, magic cards, music, instruments, comic books. And here we are. Is there any? All right, hold on a sec. All right, I'm gonna go to our best of last week in a sec. I'm not honestly versed on what Rob has said, nor do I really care. Well, you're going to find out. I'm more interested in which Ultimate book does Yule think might be the first to be canceled? Well, right now, none of them. I think they're all doing fine. He says hopefully the Ultimates, but Ultimates is picking up in my store. It's selling out at the distributor, or at least the main covers. I mean, I usually am able to reorder them, but I've upped my numbers and I sold out yet again. And maybe Ultimate X-Men isn't selling that well, but they're never going to cancel it on Momoko. She'll just be done with what she's doing, and then they'll either continue it or just relaunch it or whatever the fuck they're going to do. So I think they're all doing really great. Yeah, I think they're all doing really good. Black Panther's doing well for me. It's probably the weakest of the 4 right now, or 5 with Wolverine. I did like Supreme by Alan Moore and Rick Veitch and others. I think Sprouse did stuff. New Jack City, Kirby tribute. There you go. Thanks, Dwayne. All right. Let's look at the best comics of last week. What was first up? All right. Coming in at number 5. I felt it was a little tough, actually, to make a top 5, but here we go. Usagi Yojimbo, number 1 of 5. This is called the 10,000 Plums, or 10,000 Plums. And Stan Sakai, writing, drawing, just like always. And it sold well. And I have a lot of Usagi fans, so let's give some love. Let's give love to a comic that sold out. Not ordered heavily, Robert, but not so low that I didn't have to, pay attention to it selling out and order more and up my number for the next one. Uncanny X-Men number 11. This is the first part of the X-Manhunt series that's going on right now. X-Men's a strong seller in the store anyway. Gail Simone's writing it. Javier Garrón is on art. And this story, I don't know. I haven't really even got into it just yet. I finished the 10th issue. I thought it was pretty good. I really like the last two of X-Men with Alpha Flight and Corsair. And this is a top seller in my store anyway. And as a result, NYX is selling a little bit more. Storm sold out, and I had to get more. So Uncanny X-Men is driving that, and the other X-Men book, obviously. Number 2, the aforementioned Ultimates number 10. Sell out, and reordered already. There's a reveal on who the Red Skull is, and I don't know anything about it. And the last, number 1, best of last week. This last week was Doctor Strange of Asgard by Derek Landy. What? Derek Landy writing a book someone likes? I had a lot. All right, so for those of you that aren't aware of my store, there is the counter, and behind me there is a rack of comic books, and those rack of comic books are the best sellers. Not so that you could get to it, but so that I could hand it to you. Kind of like a cigarette rack, you know what I mean? The other comics that aren't bestsellers are out on the floor. And Doctor Strange, the regular series from before, what was it, Jed McKay and Pascal Ferry and others, it was a top seller, and it was behind the register. But this one I left out on the rack and made a nice little One World Under Doom section so that everybody could get to all the One World Under Doom books that aren't, well, yeah, those. So Doctor Strange sold out. And people were coming back to me the next day or the day after, and they told me they really liked this issue. And all right, excellent. I didn't get to read it, but who am I to argue with you? So that, if you can believe it, is the best of last week. Congratulations. Derek Landy, Doctor Strange. I just have a lot of Doctor Strange heads in the store. Young, old. But like I said, the customers are what matters in my store. I'm here for them, and what do I care? Holy cow. If folks don't like X-Men, it might be because it feels disconnected or too different. I'm enjoying it. Excellent. Comics by Perch says, thanks for the entertainment on the drive home. Love you, Yule. Perch, I'm not on X anymore. I know you aren't either. You should come on my show sometime. Man, that's the one thing I don't like about being on X is I have no connection to the fools that I was talking to. And I'm going to probably have to suck it up and go back so I can exchange emails or something like that. But oh shoot. Comics by Perch says the Red Skull is Bucky. Spoilers. Yule. I did have a variant cover question. Did you order enough of Amazing Spider-Man 69 or you're getting the Black Cat 1 of 25 for that issue? Lane, I don't remember. But maybe if I play a long enough video, I'll check it out. Let me write this down. I'll make sure to pull it aside for you, buddy. Unless you're gonna try and get it from Diamond. They might still have a Marvel book or two that they're distributing. Amazing Spidey 69 variant. Gotcha, buddy. Got ya. It's right here. Can you believe it? It's in a Batman book. All right. Wow, Perch, we will have to meet up in Texas sometime here in Texas. Yeah, you guys are all in Tejas, right? I know you said this a long time back when you did the 18 questions. Oh, wait, you guys are talking about something else. Okay, very good. Do an @ sign or something. All right, let's talk about Bobby. What do you say? Want to do it? Think it's time? I never. All right, so let me see. Best of last week. Let me move this down since he's here. Do I have comics by Perch on this thing? Thinking Critical, Erica Sullivan. Holy cow. Blood Squad 7. I don't have a comics by Perch, but that's because I rewrote it and whatever. It's funny to me. That's all that matters. All right, we're going to share screen. So this is the first time I've done this. If I don't do it well, you can let me know in the comments down below. Also in the comments down below, share with me your favorite or most unfavorite thing about Rob Liefeld. Okay, we are going to share the screen for Popverse. Ugh, Popverse. I'm going to turn on my phone just to make sure you guys can see what I'm saying. Damn, have you seen the commercials on YouTube recently? There's this one that's like hollow, and it's all these like faith-based commercials. One of the Marky Marks on one of them, and Star-Lord's in one of them. And I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. I mean, well, I guess they wanted me to say Jesus Christ, right? But Jesus Christ, man. Oh. Deadpool co-creator Rob Liefeld says comic shops, oh, this is pissing me off already, are too unreliable. That's the quotation, unreliable, to debut his new Youngblood relaunch with them first. So is selling to fans direct. That's a load of horse shit. I'm going to let you guys know that right now. Okay. Like I said, I have not read this article. I know it's very short. And then, at first, Rob Liefeld quit Marvel. Now he's quit Marvel. He didn't have a job with Marvel. What is there to quit? You didn't say, oh, I'm on an ongoing series and it's going to go on past me and I quit. That's when you quit, right? You're, I mean, he wasn't even fired. And he's all, you can't fire me. I quit. He just didn't have anything to do. Is Jim Starlin fired from Marvel, or is he just not hired to do something? You know what I mean? I mean, seriously, did he quit? He's like, well, fuck you. I'm not going to work for you. How many times has he said that? Did he say that as he was leaving Image? I mean, going to Image? When he left Image because he was kicked out, did he say, fuck you, I'm never coming back? Because he sure as shit did. By the way, he doesn't even own Youngblood. How reliable is he? Chris Arant is the editor-in-chief here on this. After a very public breakup with Marvel Comics over the past 9 months. 9 months? Rob Liefeld is plotting his future by reviving his team book series, Youngblood. It's not his. It ain't his. But after what he calls poor orders from comic shops for his recent Marvel work and variant covers, he has decided to skip selling these comics, at least for now, through comic stores, and instead is selling direct to readers via, oh, go figure, the Whatnot live streaming platform. Okay. All right, so what do we got here? We got a series that he doesn't own that he's coming back to, and comic shops were the reason that his Marvel work and variant covers weren't ordered heavily. He did a Thundercats recently. He did a DC Comics one recently. He did a shit ton of variants for his Deadpool team up. I ordered those. I ordered the 5 I always order of Rob Liefeld comics. You know what I mean? Guess what? They sold out. Well, the first time. Second issue, 4 sell. Third issue, I only order 4. 4 sell. All right, I know the number. 4. How many extra covers am I supposed to get? Those people didn't buy one of each, just one. Oh, Whatnot. What is Whatnot? Well, Whatnot is like Instagram Live or YouTube or with the Express or Facebook Live, I guess it's called. I don't know. With the express idea that we're going to sell something to you. There was a company, a comic book company, massive, that got in bed with Whatnot immediately, and now they're trying to diverse themselves from them so much. I saw them on that Beyond Wednesdays show, which always pisses me off, by the way. I listen to that, and I know there's like an owner in there, and I don't know. He's just the suck up for the establishment. Is he? I don't know. It's just some bullshit. Everything's bullshit. You know what I mean? Look, I'm a person that has a shit ton of comic books, and some of them are valuable, or I spec on them, and I don't want to go through eBay. So what am I going to do? I'm going to sell live on Whatnot. Almost nobody has the charisma necessary to be on these things, me included. But I was when I was on one of my first shows from Critical Blast. I'm sorry, some stuff fell. We had a bunch of retailers on. Well, there was a few of us, and one of them was Larry out in Massachusetts, and he's pretty funny. And I know there's some people that like him, some people that loathe him. I mean, a Patriots fan, you know what I mean? But he's nice enough to me, and he said, man, people come to your store for you. And it really dawned on me at that moment, because like for the longest time, ever since I opened my store, I felt like I always wanted to be just the grunt like I always was in comic books, like in the comic book store. I work for this guy, I work really hard. People know me. I'm loud. I talk about stuff and, whatever. But it leaves there. And also I could be another way altogether different as an employee. But he's like, man, people, he said, you're a fucking cool dude, Yule, or something like that. And I was like, man, thank you a lot. I really appreciate that. This older guy telling me this stuff. He doesn't know me. But you're right. The store is about me. And for like the longest time, I had been not trying to be a real owner of the store. I didn't want to like lord my power or want to be part of Comics Pro or be on the Overstreet list to tell things about comic books. I feel like I have something to share as far as the history of the stuff is concerned, my recollections and things like that. But overall, not really. Just read this book. It's good, that type of stuff. But I have to be personable. I have to be able to have these conversations with people. And that's when I really started taking over the store that way. I mean, it was kind of it was a necessity because I was the only one there. But before that, it was always on the internet and only in this way. And I have the anonymity of talking to very few people. Perch could say, oh, people should listen to Yule's show. It's pretty good. But, 10 people are going to do that. And I understand I don't have the platform that people are going to want to necessarily come back to, or I don't have, the hundreds of thousands of people to whittle it down to, a constant 3,000 people like Wes does on Thinking Critical and stuff like that. I don't know if he has 100,000. All right, let's get to this. Live streaming is the first line of distribution for these comics, Liefeld writes on Facebook on March 2nd. Live streaming should be the way that you get people to buy your product at a store. Now, I know a lot of people are really happy to get rid of the store aspect of the world. We have so many people I see all the time having stuff delivered constantly all day long. Rob Liefeld is one of the most active and most popular comic creators using the Whatnot platform. I'm glad that Chris said the Whatnot platform. It's a very good. He's one of the most popular comic creators. Are there any other comic creators? I wonder. Maybe he would have let me know. According to stats from the company, Whatnot? Liefeld has sold 18,000 comics, prints, and other products through his store there. 18,000. 18,000. If that was one issue of his fucking comic book, it wouldn't be enough. He would be calling us unreliable. Retailers have proven unreliable with distribution of my work. I can't allow their inconsistent practices to dictate terms of my engagement with customers. You mean my fucking customers not wanting to buy your garbage? My customers are left scrambling again and again for copies of my work. They don't buy anything other than your shit. And you come out with something 5 issues every 3 years. Oh, you have a variant cover. Oh, it's a 1 in 50? A 1 in 50 of some other shitty book I didn't want to buy? I mean, and it was a shitty book too. I knew. I still have copies of it. I would have 40 plus copies, 40 plus whatever I have now. Do I have a Rob Liefeld fan willing to spend 40 plus copies of that book? Because that's what it's worth. And we're going to get into that in just a second too. Yeah, your customers are left scrambling again. You get copies of this shit and then you put them on Whatnot. And then you make $30 or $50 or $60 or $70 when nobody else would have been able to do that. And you didn't have to buy all that other garbage. Liefeld has openly complained about low retailer orders. Write a better book. Draw a better book. He's not stocking his work at all. It's not the 90s anymore. With the orders of his variant cover to February 26th, Batman, The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween, number 5 being the last straw. Okay, stop sharing. Here we go. This is the main cover for Jeff Loeb and R.I.P. not Tim Sale's Long Halloween 3rd volume. So the main cover is a very thrown together, but obvious why they would do it, Tim Sale cover. Okay? That makes perfect sense. Every single illustrator in this book, or in each issue, is a different person. In this issue, it's Bill Sienkiewicz. And the B cover, which I only got a few of, because I still get more of the Tim Sale A cover, is Bill Sienkiewicz. Look at that fucking cover. And I didn't get that many of them. I regretted it. I've had to reorder. And when I reordered, I got some of these. But you know what? I got some of these too. But you know which one I didn't get? You know which one? This one. Because there ain't nobody that likes Tim Sale. And there ain't nobody that likes Bill Sienkiewicz. And there's nobody that likes good comics that wants to read this. So no kidding, this was underordered. You know, let's keep that up. I'm going to just do that. Go back to sharing the screen. I hope you guys are enjoying this. Retailers have proven Liefeld has openly complained about low retailer orders and reports of some stores not stocking his work at all. Oh, I already read that. When they couldn't even order my Batman cover correctly, that's sealed at Liefeld Writes. Okay, so R.I.P. Tim Sale, artist inside the book and on the cover, Bill Sienkiewicz, and Rob Liefeld. I only have enough money for 20 of these. How many of what would you buy? I know I'm going to sell at least 13 copies right off the bat. And most of those people are going to want the A cover. So I get 13 copies. 20, I got 7 left over. How many do you buy? Somebody let me know. I've got 7. I'm going to buy Bill Sienkiewicz covers and Rob Liefeld covers. What is the variable for you? Is it 5-2? Is it 4-3? Is it 3-4? The first number is Sienkiewicz. The last number is Liefeld. Which do you think it should be? And we'll get back to that in a second. For months, I go to stores. You'd never come to my store. And their shelves are stuffed with unsold product. That's all the time. Every year, all the time. Forever. And unless we are able to return these books, which we aren't. Oh, if I could have returned Time Slide, maybe if I had a Rob Liefeld nut bag, I might have ordered the 1 in 50, knowing I could have returned the 40 plus copies. Marvel don't do that. Oh, shoot. If I keep that up, you can't see it. Sorry. Didn't realize. All right. Let's go back to that screen. For months, I go to stores of 15 to 30 copies of comics that did not move off the shelves. Well, anybody that has 15 to 30 copies of comics, if we're talking 15 to 30 copies of the first issue that came out that week, not a big deal. The second issue that came out on the second week, the third issue on its third week, very bad. The fourth issue on the fourth week, incredibly stupid. Incredibly stupid. The fifth issue, the fifth week, even worse. You should know your numbers by 5 or 6. You know what I mean? If you can't know it by 3 or 4, what's wrong with you? But maybe you hope. Maybe you hope someone will come in and buy a Joe Casey comic book. But you know what? Bobby, I'd rather have one of them in my store. They won't unless they are part of a discount sale opportunity, Liefeld writes. My comics are all gone. My variants like Time Slide are hunted at top prices online. Yeah, because there's like 3 of them out there. And some nutbag wants your stuff. Why? My Deadpool team-ups are all gone. Yeah, because I ordered very few of them and they all sold to the people that like Deadpool. And now my Batman cover is sold out everywhere. They could get more. The retail situation is upside down. Sounds the same as it's always been. I'd much rather be the guy with the empty slot due to demand exceeding supply. But all these unsold comics represent a huge misfire on behalf of retailers. I wish that it was freaking true. I would have reordered all of it. I would have ordered all of it. You're saving face because you know there ain't no goddamn person that wants to buy Youngblood. Or, better than that, when I read the article a few months ago suggesting that you were going to be publishing through Image, now I don't see anything about Image. We'll see about that in a second. I see it down there. Direct-to-consumer will continue to grow. Yeah, it continues to grow, continues to kill off all the stores. You can get your fucking food delivered to you from fucking Amazon. Go for it. You can get your fucking food delivered to you from fucking some other place. Go for it. You don't want to leave the house anyway. You don't want to go to a movie. I don't want to be around other people. Is that what we've become? Is that it? Not in my comic store. We come and we talk and we hang out. And you know what? I'd seen spittle fly at my face. It was accidental, but I know I saw it. This isn't Liefeld's first experience with selling directly to fans. No shit. In 2013, he launched a Kickstarter campaign to fund a launch of another series of his brigade. It accrued double its stated 17.5 goal. However, as of 2025, one of the key rewards, a hardcover edition of select brigade issues, has yet to be shipped to the 30 people. 30 people? 30 people? If I'm to assume, if they who have been vocal on social media and Kickstarter comment sections, okay, so these 30 people are very upset. Or some of these 30 people are very upset. These 30 people are probably the people that make up the 1 in 50 variant people that would want to purchase that. You know what I mean? There are currently 4 versions, 4 versions of Liefeld's Youngblood #1 for sale in his whatnot, and his personal whatnot store, all signed by the artist writer. I hope he didn't hurt himself. Youngblood #1 launch edition, premium gold foil variant 160. Well, I am a sucker for shiny shit. Youngblood #1 launch edition virgin variant. Yeah, who cares about words? $60. Youngblood #1 launch edition sketch variant, because I really want to know what the pencils look like when Rob's drawing. Oh yeah, it's 160, 60, 60, and on this last one, 60 launch edition trade dress variant. Wow. I wonder. So the first one's in gold. The first one's a virgin variant. The other one is a sketch variant, and the other one's a trade dress variant. I would suggest that none of them are going to look different than the #1 that's going to come out through his store. So all of these are just gimmicked covers, just gimmick, not another artist, not a gatefold, nothing, just gold foil variant, not a different gold foil variant, just the gold foil is the variant. Who's unreliable here? In October 2020, and they didn't get that. They're the only people that didn't get their books. He had a stated goal of 17,500, so he made a what, 30,000? I guess 35,000 if it was double. 35,000. Todd McFarlane did a Spawn thing. I think it was an action figure and a comic book, a reprint of #1 or something like that. I think he did like $2 million. I don't know if it got delivered. These artists these days, when they get repped by Felix Art, I was just told the other day that the first All-Star Batman cover by Nick Dragotta, I might be quoting the number wrong. It was like $80,000 that sold for, just the cover. The rest of the book made him like another $100,000. I mean, I'm sure there's fees. I'm sure Felix charges. Yeah, there you go. In October 24, this new Youngblood series was announced along with plans for Image Comics to publish the series and offer it to fans through comic shops. Yeah, no shit. That's what Image does. The Youngblood #1 issues Liefeld is selling through his Whatnot store carry the Image Comics logo and are of higher quality. Oh, thank goodness. And when Youngblood #1 is eventually sold to comic shops, it will have their own bells and whistles. Oh, can't wait. Following his initial post, Liefeld later wrote that he loves and supports retailers. Fuck you. And doesn't want them to fail. Fuck you. But they are no longer reliable to him as a creator. No. You reach your fans better over the internet. That's what you say. I am able to have a better connection with my fans And I am foregoing comic stores right now. I'm not in a mood to go traveling all the time. I got all this other shit. I got a studio set up, and this is what I'm into right now. You just be nice about it, you dick. Anyway. I buy online and in person. I've advocated on, no shit you do. I've advocated on my podcast to support the clubhouses as to what that's what I believe they are. I don't want them to disappear like record stores. My God. So you're doing everything to do it. All of which have closed and vanished in my area and well beyond writes Liefeld. I'm a weirdo and I'm prone to saying weirdo things. One of those things is I can't continue to rely on the traditional marketplace to fully support my artistic endeavors. That's all you needed to say. Expanding into new markets is part of evolution. That's fine. You can say that. Just don't be a dick. To really have to say my work doesn't sell for you, I feel terrible that my work can't move. I feel bad, he continues. Hopefully in the future, my work will sell again. Wishing all the best. Yeah, there you go. There you go. There's your Rob story. All right. Damn. Yeah, that's the best I could do. God damn. Why would you say that? All right. So this is that time slide cover he was all hot for. This is back when I was on X. Back before B salute, BC salute. And yeah, there you go. I wonder who predicted that Rob would be selling these on Whatnot. I did. I knew. This guy's a one-trick pony. Give me a break. I'm gonna go to comments. I got a lot of them, so I'm gonna try and geez, you okay, let's just go back. A little bit more. All right. Liefeld is not all bad. Wore a Deadpool shirt on my successful day tonight. Deadpool's very popular for sure. However, it was Scotty Young art. So salute to Joe Kelly. Mark Howard, that's exactly right. And the reality is this. Rob Liefeld, I mean, when I'm being ironic in the comic store, I like to say Rob Liefeld created the most important character in comic books since 1985. That's what I usually say. And most people are going to go to, obviously, Deadpool. But Deadpool's not. It's obviously Cable. Cable's important to the history of the Marvel Universe going forward. Deadpool is just Bugs Bunny. Or Harley Quinn now. Anybody can be Deadpool. In fact, they got a shark that's like Deadpool, as far as I'm concerned. They've got Squirrel Girl, who's like Deadpool, as far as I'm concerned. Anybody can fill this. Sean Franklin says hi. Spider Guy says, Rob is sending them to Golden Apple Comics. They already have a pre-order up. Illithid Lord says, I'm going to go start my own comic company with blackjack and hookers. Wait. You're going to... The comic company is going to have blackjack and hookers? Or with blackjack and hookers, you're going to start your own comic company? Maybe I read that wrong. Personally, I hate signing up for new things. I refuse to sign up for what's not for sales before this, not joining now. Yeah. Didn't Joe Quesada also start a new company as well? Amazing Comics, I think. Spider Guy, I'm not really sure. I think I do remember something with him, but he's going to be doing some covers for some of the companies also. Rob's art style never evolved, in my opinion. Well, that's for sure. And if you like him, cool. And I agree. He's overrated and good for him. I don't know if he's overrated. By the people that like him, he's overrated. But it's like, Grateful Dead fans. They don't really understand that there's other music in the world. For comics, not really. Hero recycle, take the money and run. That's right. Even Frank Miller's, oh yeah, it's but not the same or worse. Geez, Jules fired up. Gary Frank is an example on Hulk with Peter David 30 years ago, and then looking at Midnight Nation or Action Comics and then Geiger. That's art evolution. And on top of it, he's getting this stuff out. I mean, he's doing a really good job right now. Brian Hitch, a guy who couldn't do it before, is doing it. Often Spider Guy's in the store, and he tells me about this interview he saw or read where Brian Hitch talks about, you know how it is. We talk about the same thing over and over again. Forget if we talk about it. Brian Hitch has figured out, and it was even during COVID, how to actually work for the first time. Like get a routine and go. And, you know, by the end of the day, you've got 3 pages done. It's like, wow, how did that happen? You know? And then you still have time to go for a walk and shop and all that other junk. Fantinuum, you ever think that Liefeld is just stirring up controversy to get free publicity? For sure. He just wants people to talk about him. It's free marketing. And I'm happy to free market for him right now. In my own way, I'm free marketing for me, right? I'm using his idiotic comments to help me out in whatever way it actually does. I actually like that Batman Liefeld variant. You know, I got to admit, it really wasn't that bad. And if I hadn't gotten rid of it, oh wait, here it is. It's just like, seriously though, Tim Sale is dead, and you're finding all the artwork that you have that could even possibly suggest that you should put it on a Batman book. Bill Sienkiewicz does the book, and we're talking about Bill Sienkiewicz, and then Rob Liefeld. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, well, I've seen the guy in the front and the big old head in the back, and the something that doesn't belong in the back. I guess it belongs because it says Halloween. Couldn't it have been Corn Shucks? Let's see. Jogron 2 says 7-0. Bill Sienkiewicz cover 7, Rob 0. If it makes Rob feel any better, Frank Miller variant covers are mediocre. I really like the ones that have the stuff exploding. There's kind of a 3D aspect to it. Rick Worley, LMAO, nice thumbnail. Rick, so good to see you the other day. So good to see you here now. Corey Keller, Corey. She became a new YouTube member. We have a subscription-based thing. Sometimes I put some videos of cracking slabs that's only for you, and maybe some other stuff soon. We're waiting till after the 23rd. We got actually, speaking of the 23rd, we're going to have a sale. And we're going to get to that in just a second. Oh my God, I'm really dragging this one out. We're going to have a sale. I am not going to be at the Escapist on the 31st like I thought. I have to do a medical procedure. And I hear I'm not going to be ready for it. How's your father's here? Excellent. Only 10 shops ordered the timestamp 150. Of course, it's expensive on eBay, but it might not be. Go check Diamond, because I hear they're selling to individuals also. And since they are going through bankruptcy and have a lot of stuff, and they have done this in the past anyway, you just have to have an eagle eye. They sell variants for a cheaper price than you would expect at a comic store. Now, if I was a comic store and I bought 150 time slide variants that I couldn't return, and I was sitting on 40 plus of them, and the one Rob Liefeld variant, because I don't do eBay sales, and I went to Diamond, and I knew that anybody could buy them for $7.99 or maybe $10.99. That might piss me off. So if you're upset that Diamond's selling stuff cheaper for you than you bought at my store, just know that I might be dealing with the same thing. Felix hooks it up. Yeah, I bet he does. By getting an extra 100 squeezed out of somebody. Rick says, Liefeld's 2-month public tantrum because Kevin Feige embarrassed him by not pretending he was famous at the Deadpool premiere has been so pathetic. It's more entertaining than any comic he's ever done. That's right. Alan Moore, Youngblood. Three Youngblood, 3 issues in plot. Yeah, none of those. That was another one. You're right. I'm torn on Rob. On the one hand, everyone seems to dunk on him for his art, among other things. And, you know, I got to say, for the most part, I really haven't made fun of him for his art. So I kind of feel bad for him. I like what he does. I think people like what he does. People do gravitate towards his stuff, and he evokes a style of comicdom that isn't created anymore. If he leaned into it, if he actually came out with something, if he had something to actually say in a comic book, any of these things would be great. All you have to do is a lot of them. All you have to do is have something to say in them. All you have to do is get slightly better in them. If you could have done any one of those things, but where is the magnus opus that wasn't written by another person with one of his fucking characters? You know what I mean? Oh, knockoff Superman, Supreme. There's nothing wrong with a knockoff Superman character. Everybody does it, but DC's going to do it, you know? DC does it. Stan Sakai. Now, he works for a living. Ghost Machine. Books I love to read. That's right. Books I love to read. I like the first Geiger quite a bit. I gotta admit, I have not read any of the other ones, though. I'm going to try and bring up some pictures, see if this works. See if it works. On Weapon X, man, Ross did use Rob's original Cable gun design. Alex Ross on the cover used Cable's original gun design, and he has done that before. And he still couldn't make it look good. I disagree, but the rest makes up for it. I disagree. I mean, Rob Liefeld's silly guns. I mean, he had these big croissants that would come in people's faces, but I mean, I just saw a news thing where someone was talking and they had the little, you know, I saw somebody on a TED talk talking, and I got these big old headphones here, and maybe he should have, I mean, Rob knew about Bluetooth technology, you know what I mean? And the gun, you know, it's stupid, but it allows me, a guy who doesn't like real guns, to enjoy his comics still, or maybe Cable. And, you know, it's stupid looking, but, you know, that Liefeld Batman cover is painful to look at. It's embarrassing that somebody gets paid to draw something like that. It's embarrassing that people don't get paid to draw better stuff on the interiors. I've been sitting here this whole time waiting for you to notice the special occasion of having me in the chat. Rick's on a weight loss, and he said, I need to lose 30 more pounds before I can get to come on your show. So let's root for Rick, because I'm down with it. I forget about the croissant headphones. That's right. All right. Let's see if we have any new books to talk about today. I have to do this.
Why, we sell a dozen a day in this price range.
Who buys them? Tax collectors?
Even if I had to pay, it would be worth it. Just for the occasion.
What, is something big going on somewhere?
It's going on right here. It's a big night.
Well, it's just an old run-of-the-mill Wednesday. Well, the calendar's full of them.
That's right. The calendar's full of them, and I love that movie. Gotta say. Damn, I had a great, this was the title for that one, Foot and Mouth. Oh, well. We're going to talk about some of the books in the sale. We're going to get to it, I promise. Okay, first up, we're going to get through these really quick. Oh my God, there are so many reprints. All right, let me do this one first. B1, B2. Oh yeah, that was the first one. Okay, great. So many facsimiles, everybody, this week. And one of them is a very, 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 very expensive book. Pay attention to the show next week. There might be something similar in what's in the box. Next up, we have one of maybe the greatest Wolverine issues of all time. And this is where I love Rob Liefeld also. He loves these issues, and he and I could get into a conversation about this, and we would never talk about any of the stupid shit that we talk about with him. And I mean, like, this is the greatest fucking issue of Wolverine ever. Like, it doesn't get better than this. And the last panel of 132 is maybe one of the greatest panels in a comic book of all time. Speaking of another great facsimile, we've got Swamp Thing number 37. You guys can let me know why that's important, but I do have it. And then lastly, Detective Comics number 31. This is not Golden Age size like sometimes DC does. So beware. But yeah, those are all coming out. But I gotta say, of the four, this is bad mamma jamma, you know what I mean? All right, we got Hive number 2 coming out. Number 1 sold out, not heavily ordered, but something to pay attention to. Dark Pyramid by Paul Tobin, Mad Cave comic book. And one of my friends who has never been on the show is going to be doing a Mad Cave comic book with a writer who's never been on the show that I really, really like. And it's Mad Cave. And, Joe Corallo is over there. And, they do some really cool stuff. Nick Fury versus Fin Fang Foom. The J. Michael Straczynski odd one-shots have been doing pretty darn good. And I have a lot of Nick Fury fans, and I'm sure there's some Fantastic Four Fin Fang Foom fans. And, here you go. Is it Fantastic Four? Did I screw up? Assorted Crisis Events. This is an Image comic. Our buddy who writes the Ultimates, Denny's Camp, is going to be writing this one. And it sounds like it's a lot of people out of time and some weirdness. Space Ghost number 11. Space Ghost number 10 just came in. And this is a Diamond distributed comic book. So buyer beware. Retailer beware. Hold on a second. Let's talk about Rob. I forgot. Let's talk about, what was the word he used for retailers? We're unreliable. Okay. How many months did it take for Youngbloods to come out? Deathmatch, whatever the fuck it was called. Deathmatch Red. How long did it take for that to come out? How about any of the Image comics that you were involved with? Or just the Image comics that you weren't involved with? How often did those take to come out? Your entire career, how many times have you ever been late on something? All right. Sorry. Little aside. The Moon is following us. Daniel Warren Johnson, never late on his comic books. Riley Rossmo also on art. They share the duties. Also, never late on his artwork. Should have been doing this from the beginning. Green Lantern Corps number 2. Jeremy Adams, as far as I know, his writing always gets his scripts on time. Mark Waid. I just threw another one. Jeremy Adams, Aquaman number 3. Always gets his scripts on time. Mark Miller. X Factor number 8 is a X Manhunt tie-in. Alert. Mark Russell, as far as I know, always gets his shit on time. And Bob Quinn, who normally I wouldn't really care if he got his art in on time, is doing a pretty darn good job on this X Factor. And even though Havoc wasn't in the book last issue because he quit, here he is once again fighting Cyclops. I hope Cyclops kicks his ass once and for all. You know what I mean? Little brothers really need it. Batman Dark Patterns. Dan Waters, an up-and-coming writer. People are really liking this one. I'm personally liking his Nightwing right now. And yeah, so there you go. Action Comics, number 1084. Is it an 8? This is the last part of the I don't remember what his name, something Ridley, John Ridley, written books. And for good or bad, John Ridley usually gets his stuff on time. A guy who used to not be able to get things done on time all the time, Gary Frank and Jeff Johns, often when they're working together. But overall, they're pretty steady, Freddie. And Geiger is a hot book in my store. Transformers number 18. Oh, another Daniel Warren Johnson written comic book. Nice covers by him, too. In fact, plenty of covers for the people that like to spend extra money. Don't go to Diamond. Just come to me. X-Men Manhunt, number 4 in this month-long series. Jed McKay and Netho Diaz on art. Netho Diaz is pretty darn good. I think he's got a future. And I think there's actually some inking going on. We got a Ryan Stegman cover and the last good X-Men book in this storyline right now. Amazing Spider-Man. Joe Kelly's back for one of the last issues of this run. He's going to be kicking off the next one with, who was it? I forget his name. One of those Power of X dudes. This has been pretty lackluster, and McGinnis coming back for the last couple isn't going to save it either. Absolute Superman is the last book I'm telling you about for the comics this week coming up. Probably the weakest of all the absolutes. And really, if you're going to ask me a question, what's going to get canceled first, which absolute book or which ultimate book, maybe then we'd have a contest. And that is the books that are coming out tomorrow. There's lots of graphic novels. There's an East of West compendium, like $65, totally worth it. Jonathan Hickman, Nick Dragotta, we've already talked about them quite a bit. And that's coming out. One of my favorite Spider-Man epics came out last week. Let's see. The thing I know most for Swamp Thing is his 90s animated show. Oh, Swamp Thing. You mean like that? Claremont, Byrne, and Austin, and Swamp Thing 37, first Constantine. Amen. Retailers don't need Rob. We really don't. What story in Marvel, DC, or comics do you most love? And where does it rank with your favorite Rob Liefeld story? You know what I mean? Like, you could do Extinction Agenda. Extinction. I like Extinction Agenda. He did the X-Sanction or whatever the fuck that was. Executioner Song. No, I can't remember which one's which right now. Diamond too busy burning the ground and using squirt guns trying to put out the flames. That's, they got stuff. They might as well sell it. Spider Juggernaut is coming next issue. That's right. And not first absolute ultimate cancellation will be Martian Manhunter. I think it's a mini series anyway, so that kind of doesn't count. All right. I know a lot of people are waiting for this, and you've been really hot for this because, everybody likes a sale. So, what is indeed? I can't find it. What is in the box?
No! What's in the box? Whatever you do, stay away! What the is in the box? Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play the song.
All right. So firstly, this box here has a ton of Alpha Flight in it, including the very beginning with John Byrne, and including the second volume by Steven Siegel and Scott Clark and Duncan Rouleau and other people like that. It's got the AIDS / North Star comes out of the closet issue and all sorts of stuff. Not all in very great condition, like some of the stuff I've been showing you. I think I'm going to probably sell this box for like $25. I mean, take a look. It's got the -1 issue. Look at that. But I also see that corner right there. All right, let's get to the good stuff. So I haven't priced these up, and some of these have become pretty pricey, let me tell you. I had bought a Silver Age collection, and all of the comics smelled like mothballs. And although I did my very, very best to get the smell out of them, it's not so great. And some of the covers aren't so beautiful either. But let me tell you, the pages inside are amazing. There is a time when you get an old comic book and you get the heebie-jeebies when you look at it, or maybe when you touch it. But when you read it and then you start like scratching afterwards, you kind of wonder, maybe that came from the book. You'll never wonder if it came from this book because it did not. So here is the earliest issue. It's a Fantastic Four number 42. The colors just pop on these in a way that, I mean, it's not been pressed or anything like that. You understand. It hasn't been treated in any way. These are, if it were to, this would pop even more. And the thing about the 60s comics, they take to pressing like nobody's business. And then take a look at the pages inside. So the thing about it is, you know, you have all your degrees of degradation in the color of the page, and when it's like brittle and dark, it will like it will fall apart. Well, so you want your comic to be, your pages, in this case, white does make right. And look at these pages. I mean, they are incredible. There's no staining going on in this comic book whatsoever. All the pages, all the panels, all the pages, all the coupons are in them. Just look at this. Is that amazing? I mean, look at that. This is from, Jesus, 1965. Okay. So this is 60 years ago, this comic book right here. It doesn't smell that bad. This is going to be one of the comic books at the show, or at my show, at the show. Fantastic Four 42. We've got Fantastic Four 44. We got a little writing up at the top, right there. We've got 45. I know you guys are wondering, does he have it? No, he does not have it. Here we've got 51, This Man, This Monster. These creases right here. I can't believe that we haven't got to the point where we allow that. You see, they allow the grease pen or pencil or marker or whatever it was in the comic books when the distributors would like mark them, you know, the newspaper stands. That's allowed. Like, that's not a mark against the grade. Well, these things happen quite often to the point where how is that not just allowed? It just is. I mean, those mailmen didn't give a shit about what they had. Either that or every comic fan, every comic store, every comic dealer needs some postal reparations for that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? We have 54. I mean, we just have a ton of this stuff. Look at that. 58. 59. 62. Blastar. 64. Destroyer. 65. That dude. 65. That dude. Oh, 67. Him. I think that's important. 68. There's a lot more Fantastic Four in here. This is just a little bit. I have a whole long box underneath. Like I'm serious. Like I'm far back, and it's like, here you go, my birthday book, 96. Oh, look, there's a little bit of writing on it. Don't worry, that doesn't affect the grade any. I go a little bit farther, and I've got, oh, check this out, number 101. You're not going to see comics like these at a store selling them as cheap as I'm going to be selling them, in as good a condition as I'm going to be selling them, without a slab on these books, and also an extra $20. Then we got your annuals. We've got 5, we got 6, we got 7. It's just crazy. Oh, here's a nice little not Bronze Age one. Heroes for Hope. This is amazing. It's got such great art in it. I've got the Long Shot miniseries I'm looking at right here. And then I'm going to show you some of these ones. These are some hot ones, let me tell you. Okay, so we're talking Bronze Age style. And we're talking good condition, right? All right. I mean, that one comic book, you kind of assume some of these books are really nice looking. We've got Submariner 39. Any Subby fans out there? Now, this isn't as good a condition. Number 39. So I've got it like back to back, so I know to price it that way. Number 40. These colors are so sharp. And the thing about these books here, do you know who does the Submariner in later issues like these? Well, you got your Gil Kane covers, obviously. But on the inside, you got Bill Everett working on these. Bill Everett, he was the original, Submariner artist back in the day. And here he is doing this stuff. Pretty amazing. I like this cover. I love Sunfire. I think he's a great character. A little xenophobic, but what are you going to do? Yeah, I got a ton of subbies here. We all know that I got a bunch of Spideys. I even got some Spawns I'm going to be selling at this show, but it'll be a lot cheaper than normal. So, yeah, that is what is in the box today. And all of this stuff is going to be for sale Sunday, March 23rd. March 22nd at 4:20 in front of the store, I'm going to have a friend, my guitar teacher, something like that. He's going to be performing some Bob Dylan songs. And if you want to see anybody crash and burn, check that out. All right, stick around. All right, I ran through that pretty quick. We're running a little long. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. I'm going to go to the comments really quick, or chat, I should say. Manhunter looks cool, especially if it ends up being psychedelic-like covers. It will look great. That Rodriguez guy is a fantastic illustrator. I think it's Rodriguez. And, yeah, it's going to be great, at least looking-wise. I don't have a favorite Rob comic, just not worth it. Save that box for Jim. Jim's going to be hot for something, that's for sure. Beautiful white pages, 1965. I'm telling you, man, I've got so many Masters of Kung Fu that look like that. And so obviously later, 70s, 80s. I've got my Spider-Womans look so good. My Savage She-Hulks look so good. My Batmans or Detectives or Supermans or Wonder Womans. I haven't even pulled out the Flash, or maybe I showed you some Green Lanterns. There's just too many for me to get to by the 23rd. But this is going to be the only time you're going to see these at my store in this, at this price. It's going to be crazy. Just moving it. This is not Modern Comic Pages. 102 was last FF Kirby. I thought 101 was, but maybe you're right. I'm not as big a dude on that one. I had an FF45 and cover had grease on it, but yeah, I read it anyway. The only ones I don't is porno comics. Why is Submariner such a dick? How's your father? I don't know. That's just his thing. Namor 50, Bill Everett. 57 with Venus and Aries, Dwayne Muth. All right, excellent. If you take a notice of the names that are running on the down below, these are all my patrons. You can become a patron. You can become a member of the channel. It helps us at the store. And if you're not a person that buys comics, but you appreciate what we're doing here or just that we exist, you might think about it because, you want to be seen, and it's the best way to be seen because you don't want to be like this guy.
My last name is Costanza. That's Italian. So you and I are kind of like countrymen. Huh? Paisanos.
650 your change.
Ah, yes. And I always take care of my paisanos. So here's a little something.
Antonio!
Sì!
Vieni qua! Questa miserabile patrona!
So make sure if you go to one of Perch's channel or videos that you leave a comment and let him know that he should be a patron member of ours. Definitely do that. Thank you everybody for joining us. Thank you for joining me. We've got a lot of people in here right now. Tell a friend. Maybe this was a fun episode and this is one you can actually hang a hat on. And I'll see you next week. Bye.
Lucy and Ramona cruising through the jungles of L.A. Hoping to promote a dream somewhere along the way. They're rolling through the streets, looking for a disco, passing up the treats from a kid named Cisco, trying to make connections with their blemish food complexions, and just as fate would have it, ended up with Sunset Sam. Sam was selling watches from a suitcase on a TV tray. And Lucy and Ramona kept trying to figure out if he was gay. The three of them were standing, staring at each other, when the light behind their eyes blew each other's cover. The ancient code was branded, and each of them was handed a ticket to their kingdom, 'cause they saw their brother Sunset Sam. Lucy was from Compton, and she met Ramona at the zoo. Ramona was from Brooklyn, but she left when she was 22. Sam was a native of the Arizona desert, but he split when he was slated for some governmental make-work. Their differences subsided when the common bond was sighted. They were all from the same place that made the famous Sunset Sam.
Look, lady, I don't come down to where you work and slap the dick out of your mouth.
That's it.
You're right, that's it.